Welcome back, guys, and if you're new here, welcome. Um, as you guys know, I really like to play Kerbal Space Program, and one of the things I've always wanted to do is to have like a realistic like controller board, something that like looks like like it'd be in a real spaceship, not just a keyboard. I mean, the keyboard is good, right? But it's not, you know, you don't see like an astronaut have like click WASD or something to like control their rockets and whatnot, right? Like they have like all these flips and switches, all these flipping switches and all these like levers and um, you know joysticks and whatnot to control their rockets, their airplanes and everything, right? And so I've always wanted to have one, so I decided to make one of my own. Um, Unfortunately, I did get kind of sick this week, so it doesn't look super cool, right? Um, but I did get something to work. I do have like a working demo, and hopefully, I will be able to get something even more cooler looking in the next time I work on it. So yeah, let me show you guys what I made. So here I decided to use Walkwe to simulate my idea online. This ESP32 that they have is slightly different than the one I have because it's a 38 pin, but I was able to change it up when I designed it on my physical one. It was basically like I just changed some of the pins. But yeah, at this point I made a kind of mistake because you're going to see when I'm testing it that doesn't really work. I switched the anode and the cathode on the LED bar, which is why it wasn't working. I figured this out later and I was able to fix it. You're going to see in a little bit. I'm going to skip to that. And I set it up so that now I get the cathode and anode on the right side, and now you can see that it will work. The light will shine. And then I just tested the other lights, and I added some code to test 3 other pins and whatnot. I did run into an issue with it not registering if I clicked too fast. So to counter this, what I decided to use was input pull-ups. I realized I was having floating inputs, so this allowed me to register like the inputs more properly, and not have like not miss them. I also added debouncing so that I wouldn't like get from this when I was clicking the switches and stuff. I wouldn't get like a double input on accident because the switches are bouncy. After this, I ran into one issue, which was that because my ESP32 dev board is a bit of an older model, I think, so I can't really communicate using serial like USB and stuff. I was confused like how was I gonna get to communicate. It was gonna require like some scripts on my computer for it to understand what I was saying, but I was able to find a like library you can use on GitHub. You can download from GitHub. It's called like BLE keyboard. It basically uses Bluetooth to give you like the ability to have your thing act as a keyboard using Bluetooth, and that basically made it very easy for me. I could just have my thingamabob, my controller, act as a keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard to my computer, and I could like have it send it would basically give me a library like, oh, this is how to press a key and whatnot. And yeah, that's what I did for the next part. You can see me here getting ready to test it out. I have the thing connected on Bluetooth. My thing is called KSpeed controller, and when I click the button, I basically press space. As you can see here, it places a space. Every time my controller makes it low, basically when I get a closed circuit, yeah, it presses space. Now I'm just gonna add a bunch of the other pins like ground, RCS, SAS, brakes and whatnot, and I'm just gonna add I'm just gonna copy paste the functionality for all of the pins and just put their different like the inputs that the keyboard usually would put in for them. I did make a mistake, as you'll see, with brakes because I wrote brake. I set the thing as brakes pin, and then I wrote brake, and then also used the wrong pin, and so that would make it that was gonna be because that becomes an issue because later on it's just not registering because it's looking for brake pin, and or no, it's looking for last brake instead of brakes pin or whatever, and so I wasn't able to control brakes until I figured this out. So I was able to fix that later though. So yeah, in the end, yeah, it did work. So I got all of the all the other pins set up and stuff, and yeah, you're gonna, I was pretty happy when I was able to fix that brakes thing. Yeah, it's here. I had the brakes issue here, and it works. And over here you can see I am testing out on the screen, like typing out basically the buttons, like I'm clicking the buttons and they're outputting the letters that they should type onto the thing. I'm just testing if it works, and yeah, it works. Now I want to test it in here, and yeah, I'm gonna just got it on Kerbal program. I'm using shift right now because I didn't have any throttle set up, and yep, now I turn on the I think it's RCS, and then now I set up SAS. Yep, SAS is on. Now I'm gonna stage the engines. So I push the stage button. You can see the engines are now fired up and running. I use my keyboard, the WASD keys, to lift off, and then as you can see, I need to take the gears up. Gear button clicked, gear light off, and the gears are retracted. As you can see, it all works. And yep, landing air, all of this done. Well, not all of it. I still need to add so many other parts. I do want to add throttle and a joystick to control flight and stuff. But yeah, we got some of these basic buttons to work at least. So that was pretty awesome. I was really excited when I was doing this. Yay. Hooray. And as you can see, guys, that is my working controller board that I have right now. I do need to make a few fixes hopefully soon. I need to figure out some things. Like one, I need the state of the game to match the state on my controller. For example, you can see the red light starts off turned off, right? The light indicating brakes, right? And then the light that indicates gear started off on, and that's programmed into the ESP32. But say if I was trying to fly a rocket, then the landing gear would be retracted, and therefore the gear should be off, right? The green light should be off, but that wouldn't happen. So I need to have that. I need to find a way for that. The game just tell my controller like, you know. And I'd also need to figure out a way for throttles and stuff to work, because right now the way it works in game is if you hold shift, then the throttle goes up. If you hold control, the throttle goes down. But how do I get say a potentiometer? If I turn the potentiometer to a certain position, how do I get that position to translate to position on the game? Like, how do I get the how long shift is being held or something, right? Because I'm not going to be holding, I don't want to be holding a button. I just want to pull a throttle like lever to a certain position and have it translate like in a real plane, right? So I need to figure that out. Yeah. If you guys have any solutions, let me know in the comment section down below. I wanted to say thank you for watching. Stay blessed.